guys, and welcome back to Oyin Brandy's channel. If this is your first time stopping by, you're most definitely welcome, and if it's not, welcome back. Welcome back to this beautiful family. On today's episode, I have Uzoma Iroche. Drum roll. Yeah, so I have Uzoma on my channel, and this is not the first time you guys have seen Uzoma. So
at this point,
yeah, like we don't need introductions. She is a YouTuber as well, so check her out. She's pretty cool. In today's video, we're going to be talking to Uzoma about preparation for marriage, because this girl, she wants to get married. Okay, she's going to be getting married soon, but let's see if she knows the first thing about being a wife. Are you ready? This is just a really calm video. We're going to be bantering from beginning to the end, so don't even listen to me. I'm not a marriage professional. I don't know anything, self. I'm learning, but let's see if Uzoma is at least ready to be a wife. Okay,
let's see.
Are you ready to come into the Gen Z wife era? Get into your wifey era.
I'm ready.
You're ready.
I'm ready.
She's ready. She wants ring. They will not give you ring if you don't pass. So Daniel, if she don't pass, she's not ready.
I'll send him this video, don't worry.
Okay, so before we get into the questions that I have for you, because I came prepared, okay?
I'm scared.
I feel like a lot of times when we talk about marriage in this generation, we try to like eradicate some things that our parents did, which is okay, right? There's some toxic things that our parents did that we'll never be doing, but there's also some things that they did that is meant to be done, that is standard in marriage. And in trying to remove some things, we are not trying to remove everything, and it's not gonna work. It's not possible. It's not feasible. Even like with biblical context, the man is still the head of the home, whether you like it or not. Uzoma, are you ready to submit to a man?
Hey, good.
And I'm not talking about submission in like, submission is not I'm a doormat. We're not doing that over here. But Gen Z wives, we don't play. But then the man is still the head of the home. He's your head. He's your crown. You have to respect him as your head. So are you ready to, are you ready, my baby girl, to submit to a man, Uzoma?
I think that I don't have an issue submitting to a man.
Okay.
It just has to be a man that has sense.
Not any man, no. Submit to your husband, I beg.
Yes, exactly.
Don't like, not say submit to
my
man.
husband, not a man. My husband, and I think that God has blessed me to the point where I can be sure, and I am sure that the person that I intend to marry has sense. Let's just put it like that.
Exactly.
Is most importantly submitted to God. I think that is really, really the most important.
Period. Girlies, we're not submitting to any man that is not first of all submitted to God. Because if you submit to a man that is not submitted to God, you're submitting to rubbish and nonsense.
And you end up
as submission. You will end up
inside the gutter.
In the gutter.
Yeah.
So first of all, we have to make sure that this person that we are saying we want to submit to is first of all submitted to God. Okay, 1 mark for Uzoma.
So yes.
1 mark. She has gotten 1 point. I'll be putting your score on the side. Okay. Next thing, Uzoma, are you ready to be cooking for your husband? I know we say that, you know, marriage obviously is not 100% women doing domestic things, 100% man doing finances. That really is not realistic. And we want to bring 100% of ourselves to this marriage. But bringing 100% of yourself is saying, okay, I know that my husband has gone to work all day. I want to make a good meal. I want to whip up a storm for him. And likewise, he needs to be able to say that. But let's start with you, because I'm talking to you, not the man. Are you ready to be cooking for your husband?
Well, do you know what? I actually don't mind. I don't mind cooking for.
Do you cook for yourself?
Don't let me
do you cook for yourself?
But that's a very good question. I'm saying I don't mind doesn't mean I do it. Okay, so for me, I cook for myself when, you know, I'm tired of eating rice. That's just the truth. That's when I'm annoyed. So it's vex I used to cook. Like I would just vex and say, okay, fine,
let me just cook, right?
But when I'm now married, it's like a whole different ball game, because I feel like you have a different sense of responsibility there. Like I'm a wife.
Yeah, whole
I need to jazz up. But as for now, I'm living my baby girl life.
Period.
I am.
Nobody told you to cook for your boyfriend. Just cook for your husband.
But I don't mind though. I actually don't mind. Like I already sometimes do it. So.
Yeah, and even in, for example, using my marriage as an example, my husband cooks very well, and he cooks a lot as well. Basically, in our household, it's like the cooking is really much like 50-50 or maybe even 60-40 on his part, right? But there are also some times that I have to let go of my selfishness and be like, okay, I know this man is busy, he's worked all day, let me make something that he would definitely enjoy. Obviously, sometimes we just whip up rice and stew, whip up this, but just that thoughtfulness of, okay, let me cook something that my husband really likes.
Like putting love
into it. Exactly.
Oh, you're such a good wife.
So, Uzoma, will you be like me? Will you be a good wife?
Yes, I'll be like
okay,
you.
2 points for you. High five.
Okay, guys, take this serious.
Uzoma is passing. You are passing. Relax. Don't let me fail you now. I'm the examiner here. Good.
Oh God, you're doing like what's that organization called? INEC. You're doing like INEC.
I'm the rigger. I'm the examiner. I'm the master. Okay, Uzoma, this is a serious one. Are you ready to be doing sex? SEX. Are you ready? Because I know that. You know what?
I have to be ready.
You know what?
At this point,
you know what? Right now,
obviously, I better be ready.
Right now, obviously, you guys are like abstaining from sex because obviously it's a sin. Premarital sex is a sin. But I hope you know that marriage sex is not. It's now marriage sex. It's not even just for fun. It is a duty. It's a responsibility.
Wait, I don't get. Expand.
It's a duty.
What do you mean it's a duty?
Oh,
what if I don't
you
want
should not deny your husband.
If I don't want you,
except
by force.
By force, can God forbid.
Exactly.
It's not by force. It's not by force, but then we've spoken about you submitting. There's also the responsibility of SEX.
Why are you like this?
Sex. And I feel like this conversation is not hard enough. Like sex within the confines of marriage. Are you guys talking about that? I feel like because obviously you guys are abstaining doesn't necessarily mean that you can't talk about sex, because it's part of marriage. Like you're talking about, okay, what are our boundaries? It's like part of communication, right? So have you guys like spoken about it in any way, shape or form?
See how my mom is looking at us. So we haven't I would say we've spoken about a fair bit, but not
obviously
the extent
you can't be talking too deep, so you
and
aroused.
also we haven't done counseling and stuff, but I feel like when we start counseling, that's when the real conversations are going to happen.
You answered my next question, but finish.
Sorry dear.
You want to marry?
We have these questions that we have been answering. It's 100 questions if you are about to get married or something like that. And we've been answering them and some of them actually have to do with sex and stuff. So we had to talk about it.
Right.
And yeah, it's just been interesting. I think that when we get there, I'll be sure to let you guys know.
And I think
what's been going there.
It even goes beyond the act. It's to what do you expect, or what are some things that we would find okay in our marriage relationship? Like, are sex toys okay? I mean, different people have different ideas of if introducing toys or whatever into their marriage is okay. What do you think? I'm not asking you to answer me now.
I wanted you to answer me.
Those are conversations that need to be had before entering inside. Let him know, okay, I'm not down for it. I'm not going to be doing this, sorry. But, Yeah. So now, go ahead to ask me your question.
I already asked you. What are your thoughts on sex toys?
I feel like sex toys, oral sex, everything, I'm going to compile them into one bucket. You need to ask yourself, where is it coming from? Why do I want to introduce this thing into my marriage? For example, let's say sex toy, right? Why do I want to introduce it into my marriage? As long as it's not coming from a place that is demonic. Because sometimes it is. Sometimes because of what you've been exposed to. Maybe you were abused as a child. Maybe you grew up watching pornography, and those are the kind of things that you were watching or they used or they did. I felt like, okay, that has now framed who you are. As long as it's not coming from those things, I'll say explore. As long as there is mutual consent. Consent is very important. Let's move on to the next question, okay? So do you think you passed question 3? Yeah, you passed. I'll give you your point.
Kind of.
I'll give you your point. So question 4. Have you guys started talking about merging finances? And outside of talking about it, have you started working on your own personal finances so that when you get into marriage, you're getting in debt-free, you're getting in, as a good finance person, which is something that some people don't think about. owe credit cards, they owe student loans. I mean, even if you have those situations, right, you have to be 100% transparent with your partner about it. Like, this is my situation. But some people actually get into marriage and don't tell their partner about things like this. And then money becomes, that's why money is like the number one reason why people get divorced. So, have you guys started talking about finances?
Yeah, we definitely have. We've spoken about like whether we want joint accounts, whether we don't want joint accounts, like credit cards, debt, all that type of stuff. I think we're currently in a place of trying to like sort it all out, because I think I'm the one that's actually better with finances, and I hope that Daniel is fine with me saying this.
No, that's fine. Like,
but I think I'm the one that is more like savvy when it comes to that.
Financially savvy.
Yeah, so we've definitely had many conversations on it, and I think I've even asked like different people like what works for them. Like I asked our mentors what they do, like in terms of their accounts, do they have joint accounts or not, and stuff, and those were very like insightful conversations. And so yeah, I think I would say that we're pretty set on that. Okay, 4
points for you, Uzoma. Now let me just talk about my own marriage and like our financial situation. Luckily for us, we both got into our marriage debt-free. And also we do have a joint account, but the joint account that we have is mainly for like rent, utilities, bills. I have my personal savings account. I also have my business account. I have like a high interest savings account as well. And my husband on the other side, he has his own accounts as well. But I think it's very important to have like it's not necessary, but I think personally it works for us to have a joint account. And also the most important thing is financial transparency. I've met people that are like, oh, I don't know how much my husband is making, or I don't know how much my wife is making. That makes absolutely no sense to me. I remember there was even a story that was circulating quite recently. They got married and the wife's dad gave her like a huge sum of money.
And she didn't tell him.
She didn't feel the need, because it was a gift to her being a wife, but like she didn't feel the need based on what she said. I never thought about it, and they were going through like some financial situations, and you know, she never actually brought anything to the table because he was the one that was always covering things like that. And one day he was just using her phone or whatever, and she didn't even think it was something that she didn't even think about it. He just saw her bank account, something $1,000. It was USD, like it was a lot of money.
I find that
and
so strange.
He was so hurt.
I find this strange.
Even though she apologized, he was so hurt because like we've been going, you didn't even mention it by chance that, oh, I have this money.
At that point of apology, it's already too late, if you ask me, because that already speaks about your heart.
Exactly.
But like, let's just start there. How is it that I don't have an issue with the fact that the parents thought to give only her the money?
They just, you know, like it was like, just a gift. I'm sure in their head it's like a gift to the couple, but they sent it to the girl.
Yeah, but then she didn't think that way.
Just felt like it was, and some people actually think like that, and I feel like it's also a thing of culture. Yes. A lot of people in Nigerian culture or African culture in general, they will even be advising the wives, don't disclose all your money to your husband. Like it's something they say as a form of security, but then and protection. But imagine if like your husband also doesn't disclose everything to you. How would that make you feel?
The thing is that a lot of them live like that though. That is how it is in most Nigerian marriages, if we're being honest, and that is something that I am trying to break in my home. I do not want that.
Joint account might work for some and it might not work for some, and I think that just find the perfect balance. Find what works for you as a couple and make that work, if that makes sense. But yeah, you should still be able to be transparent about stuff. So Uzoma, you passed. Next one, we're almost there, just 2 more. Have you guys started talking about kids and how many kids you want to have? Not even just how many kids you want to have, but what kind of parenting you want to do. Are we doing gentle parenting? Are we spanking our kids? Are we having 5 children? Are we having 2? Are we having 1 child? I watch, I don't know if you probably know Aka and Claire, right? Yeah. Claire is really sure that she only wants Gabby, which is her 1 daughter that she has, and she doesn't want to have any more children. That's a conversation they would have had from the beginning, but not every man is gonna say, okay, I'm fine with having 1 child. So have you guys had that conversation, and what's it like for you?
Yeah, we've definitely had that conversation. It's even making me laugh remembering, because I remember the first time I met Daniel, he said that he wanted 6 children or something like that. And I was just like, why?
He looked at you and said, I want 6 children.
Where would they come from? I was just looking at him. That's
why men always feel like they want so many until they reason it.
Like maybe something you just buy from the market. Anyway, I told him, yeah, that's not happening. But as of recent, we've spoken about it, and I feel like we're erring on the side of like 2 to 3. That is really what I desire. I don't want twins. I don't know.
Pray about it. Pray about it. God give you twins. I pray for you that God give you twins.
My mom wants twins, you know.
Twins.
Amen. But yeah, like the max I want to have is 3 children. After that third one hits the earth, that's it.
That's it.
It's a wrap.
It's
done. Absolutely a wrap. But Daniel is like, there we go for. It doesn't mind. Me, I mind, because guess what? It's coming from who? Me. So yeah, 3, it's a wrap. But if the Lord blesses us, I would be very, very happy with 3 children.
Okay.
With respect to parenting, I feel like this is a bit of a tricky one because we're not there yet. So there's no way for us to really know, but it's something I have thought about. Like we've spoken about it actually in this 100 question. You guys, I think I'll send you the link because it's very helpful. Those questions are very helpful. We spoke about like gentle parenting and stuff like that, and we're talking about how like we don't know how we will be until we get there. But I don't personally. I believe in spanking personally. I do. Not beating, but like spanking. There's a difference. Like beating is like from a place of anger. It's like from a place of taking out your emotion on a child. But spanking is like a like in my opinion, it's like a deterrent from them to not do something again. Now, you could argue that why can't you just explain it to them? Children don't have the same minds as adults. Like their brains are not as developed as adults. So even if you explain something 100 times, they may not get it. But I guess there's a place for patience in explaining that thing 100 times. Even if it's that 101 time that they get it, they get it. And I guess some people will argue that you should be able to be patient enough to argue to that 101 first time. But how realistic is that is my question. Now, anyway, that's a whole different conversation that is not set in stone, but it's something that I am willing to revisit and change as the time, like when the time, who knows, when I have a kid I might be like, I'm never hitting this child ever. Right. But then gentle parenting I believe in as well, because I believe it has an approach of really trying to get the child to understand and making sure they are not doing things they are doing out of fear. Exactly. So you don't want your child to stop doing something because they are scared of you. That's not the point. The point is to show that things have consequences, right? And understanding why things should not be done. But then again, I'm not a parent, so I don't know. Nayans are just. I know. I know you want to say something.
So let me say my opinion, because of also how I was raised. My parents never hit us, never. Okay. And I also think that is because we were good children. Okay. Maybe if they had stubborn children, they would have had to, hit or whatever. My parents never hit us, and they never like hurled abuses, or they were just. Worst case, they'll shout, or they will say they will hit, like I'll beat you, but like they never actually did it. So soon, by God's grace.
Leave that place. Hey God.
So I hope that I never have to resort to it. But for us as a couple, we definitely Olu believes in little spanking, but me, I'm like 100% gentle parenting. Anyway, to our last and final question, and this one is winner takes all. If you get it right, you win. If you fail it, you lose, even though you've gotten all the other ones right. And it is that, have you guys discussed boundaries in your relationship? So for context, like, is your partner allowed to be friends with his exes? Are you allowed to be friends with your exes?
You see,
in your marriage?
That document has helped me. Because all of these questions,
really?
You see,
I'm a wife. I know the things we need to talk about here.
Yeah, but it's only recently though that we spoke about all these types of things. But we've spoken about that for sure, and we're like, nah, there's no use. There's really just no use at all. Like, what is the point of that interaction? There's no use. Literally. And so if ever a time comes where anybody from our past starts to pop up, I always say like our first point of call is to like let each other know and then like kind of discuss what to do from then on out. My best policy is transparency. Like, always, exactly. Always. Like exactly. I never want a situation where I'm like, oh, I don't know what's happening, or you don't know what's happening. Like that just gives room for weirdness to take place, and we don't want that.
Exactly.
So.
Basically same on our part as well. We also we don't want to be like, don't be friends, but obviously if that person needs you, if it's an emergency, be a good person.
Yeah,
be a good
them to someone else that can help.
No, you don't know what I mean. Not like need as well, like calling, like the person might genuinely need your help. The person might genuinely need you.
What?
Like, I don't know.
Out of all these 7-8 billion people on this planet, I'm the only one you need. Why?
What? Like, you never know.
He's the only one. Why?
You never know.
You don't have mother, you don't have brother, you don't have sister, you don't have friend.
Okay.
You don't have pastor.
So you're on the extreme.
No.
I feel like if the person genuinely needs you, like,
okay, fair.
just a one-time situation, not like need as well because, but like just a one-time situation, be there to help because you're a Christian at the end of the day, right?
For sure.
But then no need to be friends, no platonic friendships over here. Okay, how about like you also need to talk about like when is it okay? How late is too late to come back home?
That's one thing we're not talking about.
You see, you want to fail this question. Tell me now.
We are talking
how
about
late is too late to come back home? Can you just call the day of and be like, oh, I'm sleeping over at this person's place and I'm not going to be coming home? Or is this something you have to have discussed like before you even leave home?
You see, this is the thing, right? I'm a big advocate for not making marriage seem like prison. And this one thing that, like, Daniel seems to have this idea that, like, once he gets married, he's inside a cage. Like, any small thing, he's like, you guys don't know, I'm getting married soon. I have to do all the things I have to do now. And I'm just like, what do you think?
Marriage should never be the end of anything. It should be the beginning of your adventures, beginning of your fun.
Exactly. That's why I always tell him, like, I never want you to feel like you're in a cage. So, if you
but it's not a cage, but there are still boundaries.
Yes, there are boundaries.
But where should it be going out? What should be going for guys' night out? Every day?
I think I need
once a week.
I need to experience first, and then I will be able to give you a better answer because I know myself. I know that if you get to a point, I'll say, "Come, you don't have."
Every day. Do something. I know you. You will be like Daniel. Come. Every day. She will not agree.
Okay, your bro. Why did you marry him? Why did you marry him? Why did you marry me then? I know that's
so these things need to be spoken about.
We haven't spoken about that because we still have a bit of a way to go.
They don't understand our struggle.
No, they don't understand it. You don't know we got targets to hit.
Right?
We have targets to hit, man.
Yeah, thank you so much, Uzoma, for coming on my channel.
Thanks for having me.
I've officially pronounced you as the International Gen Z wife.
Oh,
you're ready to come into the association.
Period.
You need to pick Ashwebi now.
Oh, yeah.
We're ready. Yes. Don't worry, guys. You guys, we'll invite you virtually to the wedding.
Yeah. And you'll see all the details on TikTok.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Zoma, for being here. Love you. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment if you enjoyed this video. All right. Bye.